Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first official stream slash video for the hot Jake Clips YouTube. If you can't tell by my pot head, I am a part of the Brick Squad, yeah. But anyway, this will be a guide on a pretty consistent way of doing VMA with a StamDK. So, I guess let's get into the build. Building character. So first off, for attributes, you want to do 64 points into stamina. And I'm also using Bewitched Sugar Skulls because it's just nice flat health, stamina, magicka buff. Because we are stamina, but we do use quite a bit of magicka abilities. We're also using the Shadow Mundus Stone for that extra crit damage. We're also an Imperial, but that's just you could either be an Orc or a Dark Elf, or really doesn't matter. I just like the Imperial for the a little bit extra health, makes you a little bit more tanky. I guess we'll move on to the skills now. So for StamDKs, our damage is basically dots, pretty much. So for our first skill, we're starting off with Noxious Breath. It's a pretty solid dot. Also provides major breach to the enemies applied on, and it's pretty good AoE. Can be used as a spammable if you want also. Then next skill, we're going to be using Flames of Oblivion, which due to the Noxious Breath, it can hit pretty hard because of the major breach to the enemies. It also gives us Major Savagery, which again boosts our critical rating, which we like. We're also using Venomous Claw because this is our probably one of the most damaging dots we have. Just great single target damage. Yep. Then we're also, so based on our set, we're going to be using Flurry Strike. I'm using the Bloodthirsty morph because it gives you that big moderate heal at the end. You could use either morph of this ability, but again, VMA, we're just trying to survive. And you'll do a little bit less damage, but you get that sustain. It's also a pretty good spammable as well, based on the sets we're using, which we'll get to later. Then we're also going to be using Blood Crazed, which is the Twin Slashes morph. Again, we're using the healing morph for it, because we like the heals. We're just trying to survive, and it's a pretty solid single target dot, which we like. And for our ultimate, we're going to be using Corrosive Armor for those moments where you just need to survive and deal DPS. You are pretty much basically invincible when you have this on, and again, it's a dot, which we like. And then moving on to the back bar, we're gonna be running a bow back bar, but we're gonna have Beast Trap on the back bar because this is again a really high single target damage ability. And it also increases your critical damage by 10%. This will be great for killing bosses and other high health mobs. And we're also going to be running Molten Armaments for the increased damage. We're using the heavy attack damage morph because we are going to be heavy attacking quite a few times during the run to get our resources back. Next, we're also running Resolving Vigor. You can use Echoing Vigor if you want, but this isn't going to be our primary heal. It's just for those moments where you take a lot more damage than you suspect. Like I said, you could use Echoing Vigor, but I really only use this when I take a heavy amount of damage and I just need the rapid burst heal. Next, we're actually running Consuming Trap, because it's a very strong dot. Like, granted, it is It costs magicka, which we like because one of the DK skill line passives is for every like magicka you spend, you get stamina back, which we like, and it scales off your highest resource, which is our stamina, so it does almost 15k physical damage over 10 seconds, which is we like. And the bonus, if we kill an enemy with this applied, you get a bunch of resources back, which will help us with our sustain as well. Next, we're running Endless Hail. This is going to be our only real bow ability, because we are running Maelstrom weapons. And you can use either morph for this, but I use Endless Hail because based on the items or some of the sets that we're running, you'll find out later. Well, I guess spoilers, we're using Ring of the Pale Order, so with Endless Hail it's a bigger constant heal as opposed to the other morph. The other morph does do more damage, but like I said, we just want to deal as much damage or constant damage, which will give us the heals. We're also running Flawless Dawnbreaker for our back bar ultimate. It's a good burst ultimate. It also does dot damage, which is buffed by our sets. It also gives you weapon damage for 20 seconds after you cast it. But we're mainly running this because their Beast Trap and Flawless Dawnbreaker are both Fighter's Guild abilities, which boosts our damage on the back bar by 6%, which is nice. Alright, moving on to the passives. You're going to want all of pretty much every passive in your skill line, because it just boosts your damage and survivability exponentially. So I really won't go through like what all the passives does. I'll just go through them. I guess the main passive would be I guess Battle Roar in the Earthen Heart ability. So you get a bunch of resources back whenever you ult, which is super nice. And then also Helping Hands, which when you cast a non-stamina. Oh, my Earthen Heart ability. Okay, so I guess it's just for the Molten Ornaments. Whenever you cast that ability, you do get stamina back, so that's pretty nice. My mistake. I thought it was all magicka abilities. You're gonna want all dual wield passives as well, and then all bow passives. Then we are running 7 medium because we aren't running a monster set, so we want all those. We also want all the Fighters Guild. Well, I guess I don't have Bounty Hunter, but that's alright. Doesn't really apply to us. So again, want all the Fighters Guild. So because there are Daedra and stuff in the arena, so you will get a bunch of ultimate back whenever you kill them, which is really nice. You can use Undaunted. Unfortunately, there are no synergies we can use, but if you are running medium, light, and heavy, this Undaunted Metal passive, you'll get a pretty big bonus. But like I said, we're running 7 medium, so we only get the 2% from it. Then want all your skill or all your character passives as well. And you can run potions, so I would advise getting the medicinal use as well, because it'll make them last longer. But I'm pretty cheap, and so we only really pop potions when we need them. Alright, moving on to the sets. So there are a couple sets that you can use, but I guess I'll go over what I'm using. We're running the Maelstrom Perfected Weapons. So this is why we're using Flurry. Because whenever you Flurry, your single target damage over time abilities, when are used within 4 seconds after Flurry, gain 1690 spell damage. So that will boost our Beast Trap, Barbed Trap, our Consuming Soul Trap, and also our Venomous Claw and Blood Craze. So these damage over times abilities will start hitting really, really hard. And then on the back bar, we're also using the Maelstrom Perfected Bow for Thunderous Volley. Maelstrom Perfected Bow for Thunderous Volley, so this increases the damage of each volley tick each time, but it only maxes out at 8. So you're, which it does a lot of damage, and again, we're using the longer volley for the more consistent heal. So, but yeah, you do not need the perfected versions of these to run VMA, but you can grind out normal and get these weapons, and they just won't have the added 103 weapon damage and then the added critical. Also for the main weapons, you're gonna want a dagger and axe, one with a Nirn honed and one with sharpened. Just make sure you have Nirn honed on the front hand. Doesn't matter which one has it. You want the dagger for the increased critical rating from our dual wield passives, and also we want an axe because it has a chance of applying a bleed dot, which gets buffed by our first armor set. We're using the Deadly Strike armor set with all divines, but you could get away with really either trait. It's just, yeah. So this increases our weapon critical, weapon damage a bunch. Also, the main thing is it increases all of our dots and channeled abilities by 20%. So our flurry, like I said, it's a pretty good spammable because it's a channeled ability, so it'll hit 20% harder. So this is the main set that really boosts our damage the most. For the second set, we're only running 4 pieces, so it's really up to you. I'm just using Spriggans because of gives you a little bit more stamina and weapon damage, but again, you could use something like Hunting's Rage or Briarheart for the offset. It really doesn't matter, just something to give you some resources and stuff, extra resources. And then we're also running Spriggan Necklace and Spriggan Ring. But the main thing is that you want to get is Ring of the Pale Order. This is your this is pretty much your primary heal. So our goal for the arena is constantly dealing damage, because if you're not doing damage, you're not healing, and so you're somewhat squishy with this build, and so you can die pretty quickly. But so for each damage you deal, you heal for a maximum of 2,700 health per attack, and so this ring procs with each damage tick. And as you know, our abilities, we are pretty much all dots, so we will get consistent heals. And like I said, with the volley skill on the back bar with the bow, we have the longer volley because we get more heals if the mob doesn't die in the volley, that is. But Ring of a Pale Order is a must. If you don't have the Deadly Strike set or the Maelstrom weapons, like I said, like this stuff doesn't have to be legendary. It can be purple. You can easily do it with purple. And I'll just say again, the weapons, they don't have to be perfected. You can grind them out on normal Maelstrom, which is pretty easy. But if you don't want to run my setup or this main setup, you could also run a 5-piece Hunting's Rage. You can do 2 daggers, or I messed up and made them both Nirn Hone, but I would do 1 Nirn Hone and 1 sharpened dagger as well for the 5-piece set. And then I would also run Briarheart. Oh. Sorry, okay, here it is. Briarheart as well, because it works well with Hunting's Rage because you get a lot of weapon damage and critical, and whenever you crit, you increase your weapon damage by 435 for 10 seconds, and while this active, your critical strikes heal. So heal for 337, so it's kind of like a budget Ring of the Pale Order, if you think about it, because if your dots crit, they'll heal you while the buff is active. Briarheart buff is active, but the Briarheart jewelry can be pretty expensive, and Hundings is a crafted set, so you really don't want to craft jewelry because it is super expensive to upgrade them. So you'd run 5-piece Briar, 5-piece Hundings, and then Ring of the Pale Order as well, because like I said, this is a must. It's your main heal. Because otherwise you'll just be spamming Vigor to heal from your enemies. And then so you'll have. And then I also would run one monster set. I would just do Swarm Mothers. Really doesn't matter. Medium, heavy, or light. Because you get 1058 stam and magicka. So again, we're running a decent amount of magicka abilities. So helps us with the sustain. And yeah, I guess moving on, I guess we can go to champion points. I would just, like, I don't even have them all in, but I would just look up a guide on, like, go to Alcast HQ and just look up the champion points. I guess you can see what I have in. I guess your main thing for the blue is you want to increase your damage over time and your poison and disease damaged by a bunch. Also, your critical strikes are nice. I'll just increase these because like I said, stam DK, we're all about the dots. So, but yeah, these are the rest of my points that are put in. Got nothing in the mage. We got a bunch of tumbling. Well, we just use this for the treasure hunter perk because that would be the most efficient way to get the Briarheart jewelry is opening treasure chests in Rothgar. But we're also using. You could probably have more points in tenacity because we do heavy attack a decent amount to get the resources back. Then also you want Mooncalf for your extra bit of sustain. Again, I really only have stuff in there. Cost of break free is nice because there is a decent amount of CC in the arena, and if you get CC'd, if you don't break free fast enough, or if you don't break free at all, your likely chance you're gonna die because there's just so much stuff hitting you. Then for the warrior, just base reduced damage. Damage taken is nice. There's a lot of elemental damage as well, so the elemental defender's good. Yeah, not a lot of poison in the arena. There's a little bit of poison and stuff in the arena, but yeah, these are my champion points. But I'm not saying these are like the correct. It's just I kind of go off feel. I would say just go check out Alcast's website. It's a pretty good baseline based on how many champion points you need. And right now I'm like 597 CP. You can definitely do this like 160 or to 300 CP as well. So I guess we went over all the skills that we'll be using and the sets. I guess the main thing is I guess we'll go into the arena. I gotta make sure I am on veteran. We are. Alright. Going to the arena. And I guess the main benefit of doing VMA, of course, is the weapons. They got good destruction staffs. Again, the Maelstrom bow is really good as well for Thunderous Volley, and the weapons are good for stam DKs because again we're damage over time. Like that's our main damage. And then also it's pretty easy to get on the leaderboard for VMA with the stam DK because I don't think even 100 people do it a week with the Dragon Knight. So gives you that chance to get gold weapons and stuff on the leaderboard, which is nice. Alright, so the first arena is pretty easy. The really only thing you gotta worry about is there's like an orb of bones that swirl around you and try to kill you. But you just gotta dodge that and you'll be alright. Just make sure your buffs are active at all times. And just keep weaving in those heavy attacks. Then here's the little orb thing you want to watch out of. Actually, if you... Yeah, see, it'll just keep constantly doing damage to you, so just keep moving, keep strafing. Then I would also say just try to get into the habit of putting Soul Trap on most of your enemies, because it's a decent dot and it's a pretty strong sustain tool, which be like. So this is the final boss of round 1. He's pretty straightforward. He just summons these little shades to attack you. If you have Ring of the Pale Order, you can just kind of ignore them and let them die to your AoE. Keep healing. And that is the first arena down. And also, if you didn't know, you can talk to this guy, and you can repair your stuff after every round, so you don't have to worry about carrying repair kits and stuff like that. And I also would make sure when you enter the arena, make sure your weapons are charged, because there's nothing worse than having your charge run out. Oh, and also, I guess, one thing I forgot to mention, you could also run damage, health, poisons on these weapons as well. That's a good combo, because again, extra dot, which we like. But I'm pretty cheap, so I just use the enchantment. So this arena, it's just basically try to dodge the blades as best as you can, and then don't go in the center, because again, you will get struck by lightning, and it does a decent amount of damage. The only real thing you have to worry about is that since these blades are on different like different circles, so the inner one will go around more time or quicker than the outer one. They can stack up, and so if you're getting hit by 3 of them at once, it can do a lot of damage really quickly. And if you didn't know as well, you could pull these levers, or this lever, and it'll stop. It'll stop the blades in place, but the middle turns into a heal, and the mobs can go heal. Keep putting your dots on, keep healing. See, like right there, those two stacked up together. Well, those wheels also put a bleed on you, so just be wary of that. Oh shit, we're to the... Alright, so the final boss, it'll spawn 3 Centurions. If you'll get to a health threshold, and they'll go down in their invincible state, and then another one will spawn and blast lightning at you. I would advise blocking those heavy attacks, because they will do a lot of damage. But after all 3 of them spawn, you can actually group them together. After you get this 3rd one down into his little state, and they'll like come running at you. You will just chill here, and then you can just kill them all together, which is pretty nice. Just again, make sure you're doing damage, because those bleeds do stack up. And careful when you're standing in the blue, because the blue will shock you. They're little blue bubble shields. Actually, just gonna pop a potion here, get a little sustain back up. Got one down, nice. Alright, he went straight down right away. You like right there, gotta be careful. Now we're just gonna corrosive armor here so we don't die. Just kill him real easy. Corrosive armor is super nice. Each attack only can take up to a maximum of 3% of your health away, so you're basically invincible. And that is the arena 2. I'll just reiterate, just be careful on the stacking, spinning wheels, because once they stack and you get hit by 3 of them and they tick you like 2 or 3 times, they will do a lot of burst damage to you. Alright, so this arena, you're gonna want to stay on these 3 little islands, because the main boss, you can actually see her up there. She will light everything, or she will channel lightning through the water. She'll also call lightning strikes down upon you. So then also the arena will spawn those stranglers, which will slow you, which is not good. So if you do get slowed, just roll dodge through them and then try to kill them right away. They will only spawn outside of the out on the water. Keep doing damage. The nice thing about the stranglers, you can just apply soul trap to them, and it's a pretty nice heal as well, or hit them with the volley and the soul trap. So again, keep weaving in those heavy attacks. Keep the sustain up. Roll dodge the lightning strikes as well. Always keep moving. That should kill. Again, main thing about this arena, just keep your eyes out for the stranglers. One heavy attack and then ranged ability usually is enough to kill him. We got another strangler. Go get him, because you can also on this arena you can run an ability that gets you immune from slows or immobilizations. So like you could use the Sigic Order ability, which I think it's called Race Against Time, if I'm not mistaken, or you could run, there's a DK ability that also removes immobilizations, but it's only for 2 seconds, and it costs a decent amount of magicka, so I don't think it's that good. So this is the queen. She really only has 1 CC, that's Scream. We got a Strangler now. Again, keep doing your dots, otherwise you're not healing. You will heal, even if you're not directly attacking. There we got CC'd. We're just going to corrosive armor here. Ignore the ads. Just burst her down. And that is the 3rd arena down. Another nice thing about VMA is that you do get purple gear, so you can deconstruct it and get inspiration if you don't have it, or max out your crafting. You also get the purple upgrade material, which is pretty nice as well. So this arena is pretty straightforward. The only thing you really have to watch out for are these little Dwemer sentries, which we'll see if one will come up. Oh, and if you didn't know, if you do off balance a enemy and heavy attack him, you do get more resources back. But all right, so this is the main thing you want to watch out for are the Clockwork Sentries, because they will like bunker down in their little spot here, and they will become invincible for a short time, and they will shoot lightning at you periodically, and if there's like 4 or 5 of them shooting lightning at you and you get hit, it does do a lot of damage. But after a time, they will become attackable, and they're pretty easy to kill. You can just hit them with one ability and a heavy attack, and usually they'll die. Other thing you want to watch out for are the Dwarven Spheres, because when they do that wind up spin to win attack, that does hit pretty hard. So I just block that and then heavy attack them afterwards. Then since we have our molten armaments on, our heavy attack will hit very, very hard, plus they're off balance as well. Again, keep your eyes out for the sentries. Got a sentry going. Nice thing is, super easy to kill. You just soul trap them, get the resources back, and yeah, good to go. Keep up that sustain. They also can spawn in between rounds, as you just saw, so keep an eye out for that. And also don't get hit by that lightning attack. Again, one of their more bursty damages. Oh, looks like we're not gonna get one. You can actually apply your dots onto those sentries, and they will heal you. Because you are technically still doing damage. It's just they have an infinite damage shield. That boss is pretty easy, or he's not the final boss, just the wave boss. You really only have to watch out for his dizzying swing. Then if you block it, just heavy attack him, and he'll get CC'd. Alright, so the final round, it'll spawn the spider. He'll like crawl out of the wall. At this stage, he'll shoot lightning at you. So, for some reason on my screen, it's not showing a green safe circle. But when he's shooting lightning like this, you want to stay under him, because he can't hit you. But at some point, he will shoot fire at you. So this is where you kind of want to run around, make sure you're not under him. Take out any mobs you need. But if you do have enough damage, you can just corrosive armor under him and tank. Oh, well, I died. Unfortunate. Oh, I was actually taking some of the ticks. Unfortunate. For some reason, it wasn't showing the circle. Okay. Well, there goes the Deathless Run. Unfortunate. Oh, see? Alright, now it shows. Yep. You want to stay in the green circle. You're safe in here. Put on your dots. We're just going to corrosive armor this and see if we can burst him down in time. See, as you can tell, corrosive armor, not taking very little damage, but unfortunately it is going to run out here soon. And we'll just wait for the dots to kill him. And he is done. Yeah, so with that boss, just when he's walking around, stay under him, can't hit you. When he's breathing fire, either corrosive armor and tank through and heal through the damage, or strafe around, search for the little sentries, and yeah, just kill the mobs or kill the ads. All right, so this will probably be one of the hardest arenas for new players because it is a pain, and there's a bunch of ranged attacks. So if you find yourself dying a bunch, you could substitute. You could probably substitute. I would say. I would say get rid of Blood Crazed, and then you could get rid of Blood Crazed, and then you could either use Volatile Armor. This morph, it just it gives you a bunch of physical and spell resistance, which is really nice, and it also applies a dot. You can use either morph. The other morph, it gives you a little health shield based on your maximum health, but Volatile Armor is pretty nice as well because it gives you a little dot, which again is increased by Deadly Strike. You also use the Protective Plates because it will. This is the immunity snare I was talking about, but again, it only lasts for 2 seconds, which is unfortunate. But this decreases your the damage, or this reduces the damage taken from range attacks by 50%, which is really nice, but it only lasts for 6 seconds, and as you can see, it's a pretty expensive ability. So another thing, you could also run Dragon Blood, which again this will increase your healing from both your vigor and as well as your Ring of the Pale Order. So this will could help out with your survivability as well. But again, it's very expensive ability, magical. So I would say if you are dying a lot, I would just slap on the Volatile Armor for substitute for Blood Crazed. Because again, damage really isn't the issue in this stage. It's just surviving the ranged attacks from some of the mobs in here. But all right, let's get into the arena. So the main thing about this arena, you have to stay on these ice pads because you will take exponential damage if you stay in the water. And then the arena will also spawn trolls that will try to break the pads, and you're going to want to kill them as fast as possible. They'll spawn in the middle right there. They'll run to one of the three. Alright, we got pretty lucky. And then you can interrupt them while they smack the thing, and then so once you interrupt them, just heavy attack. Then I guess, yeah, the main mobs, you do really want to take out the ranged first because they do definitely do the most damage. I would say the archers first and then the wizards. So great ability for this is Endless Hail because they really don't try to hug you, and so they'll just sit in there and take damage, and you will heal and they will die. First boss is pretty easy. She just transforms into a werewolf. She does have dual wield abilities, so be careful about getting low because she can execute you. So again, troll is smacking, interrupt him, put a soul trap on him. You'll get a bunch of stam back, stam and health. He also turns into a werewolf, but since you're DK, you really don't care because you have a lot of poison, and she will just get destroyed by it. And the trolls can also spawn between rounds, as you can see, so make sure you keep an eye out for them. And also, I would say, if you can, try to be on the pad that the mobs spawn, so they don't get in any extra attacks. Then a main thing, the ogres, I would always try to block their heavy attacks, because again, you're just going to be dying from just burst, basically. Second boss is pretty easy to defeat. Other ogre, shaman really. Put your dots on her, do some heavy attacks, get your resources back. Again, your primary focus is taking care of the range. Really ignore the Atronach. As I say that, I'm getting hit by a mage, but... This arena as well, AoE is your friend, because there are a decent amount of mobs. Actually just going to pop a potion here for some sustain. Oh, and if a troll does happen to break a little ice pad, don't worry about it, because they will respawn after each round. So I would say survival is your biggest thing. If a troll like destroys 2 pads in arena or 1 round, you're fine. So for the giants, there's only really one attack that you have to watch out for. It was that big swipe where it sends the fissures to the ground. They do hit really hard. And they also will stun you. Again, CC is your biggest enemy in this arena. Because there's just so many mobs hitting you. If you're not dealing damage, you're not healing. You don't get your dots applied. Again, watch out for the fissure. His swings are pretty easy to dodge as well. Just the fissure you need to watch out for. Again, keep putting soul trap on enemies. I thought I would have killed him by now. Fortunate. Alright, final round. This guy. So, there'll be some damage checks. You want to dodge those big heavy attacks because they will knock you down. And he also does the fissures as well, like right there. And he can stun you as well. But once you get a damage check, he will turn red. I don't know if you saw that. And he will destroy platforms. Again, dodge the fissure. Just gonna pot here. Get all your dots on him. You'll heal through the burst. Alright, boom. He turned red again. Your dots on some mobs. Okay, we're just going to corrosive armor here. This is the last platform. We're just going to ignore the mobs. We're going to burst them down. If you do not kill him quick enough, he will destroy the platform. And then you're going to be forced with fighting him in the water. And by that time, you better be really low, otherwise you're going to die really quick. But again, if you're having trouble surviving in this arena, I would swap out Blood Crazed for Volatile Armor or the other morph, because this will increase your physical and spell resistance by a decent amount. Alright, so this is probably another annoying arena. Just because of the mobs. They have lurchers in this arena, and I hate lurchers because they stun you and knock you back. Like CC is your enemy. But as you can see, you'll see all these little totems around. Some have webs on, some don't. Or I guess one doesn't. But these venomous bugs here, they will spawn like every 30 or 20 seconds. And to get rid of the webs, you can either kill them on top of it, which I would recommend, or you can kill them and then you can synergize. You can pick up their little venom. Here, I'll just kill them. I'll show you. They'll drop these little venom grenades, and you have to throw it onto the thing, which I don't like because you're standing still, you're getting hit. Just not great. But you'll summon the arena will summon a swarm, and to get rid of the swarm, you have to You want to stay in the totem. It will protect you. But a little tidbit or a little trick. You can actually put your dots. Oh well, there's a lot of them. You can actually put your dots on the spiders, and you will heal. You can kill them, but they all have north of 150,000 health, which they will take a little bit to die. But again, your dots are on them. You're healing, so it's a little extra bit of sustain. I guess one mechanic as well, if you do uncover all the pillars, I'll just show you. It will stun all the mobs with this, which is a pretty long stun. But after this is done, it'll cover all the totems with webs again. So I would really only save that for the final boss, because later down the line, the arena will start spawning these little spiders that will cover the totems, and if all the totems are covered and none of them are shining, when the swarm comes out, you are either gonna have to kill them or you are dead. Also, I guess I shouldn't have to tell you guys, but don't get hit by the lightning, because as you might have saw, I got really close to death. Alright, there's one of the spiders that cover it up. They're actually pretty easy to kill. And there's also a nice enemy to soul trap as well to get your heals. Same with the venomous. Again, swarm comes out. Just put your dots around. Stand around the pillar so that are lit up, and they will eventually go away. Yeah, and the biggest thing, just keep your eye out for these web spinners. You don't want them to where's this the last one? Oh, I don't want to do that. Again, block the fully charged heavy attacks and stuff. Don't like the dizzying swing, because that will knock you up and you will take damage, or you will get CC'd. Again, make sure you just always leave one totem covered, because we're just gonna save it for the final boss. And if you don't kill the little venom guys, they will just go away. But don't worry, they do spawn pretty frequently. So always try to keep your eyes out for those little spiders. We got our first lurcher. Fucking hate lurchers. You like that? Oh, and I got CC'd. That was close. You know, we're just gonna corrosive armor here. You can kill the little spiderlings, but again, it's not advisable. Alright, so this boss, he's a poison guy. You're gonna want to block this poison. Can't dodge it. I'll put a pretty hefty dot on you. And keep doing damage. Like I said, this is probably one of my least favorite arenas, just from all the CC from the mobs, like the slows, the stuns. Definitely not one of my favorites. Oh, we got two lurchers. You can actually interrupt that attack. See, like right there, you get like shoulder charged, and oh god, I hate lurchers. I hate them. Okay, final round. This boss is pretty straightforward. Big spider lady. Put down all your dots. You can actually interrupt that attack. Heavy attack right after. I do not have my molten weapons on because I'm a pleb. She will also spawn these little spider ladies, which will buff her and give her a crazy amount of resistances and make her super hard to kill. So you're gonna want to kill those as fast as possible. Right there, she got charged. At this point, we're just waiting for a little venom guy. We can use the stun on her, or stun on them. Oh, there's one. Just gonna hit him with a light. Bring him over here. Boom. Alright, now we'll just burst her down. Hit her with the Dawn Breaker, do more damage. And she's donezo. Alright, so this is probably like I would say the worst. I'd say the ice rink is the worst round, and then this one is next afterwards. But once you get past those two, I'd say you're in the home stretch. Alright, so this arena, you see these 4 platforms with green little lights around them. I'll explain later what can spawn there, but also in this arena, you'll see these little toxic plants. So if you get next or get near these toxic plants, they'll go off and they'll explode. And if you're in that vicinity when they explode, you'll get hit with a very strong poison dot, and it'll kill you in 2 to 3 ticks. If you do get hit by the dot, you can go to these little green pools. This will cure you, but you can't just like sit and fight in these pools because it makes the Argonians that you're trying to kill invincible. But one of the main mobs that you're gonna want to focus down are these archers, these venom shots. Because again, ranged is your enemy. If you find out they're killing you super quick, again, swap out Blood Crazed for the armor. Then for the trolls, the only thing you really gotta watch out for is the boulder. Oh, see, I got ticked right there. I'm just gonna corrosive armor, otherwise I would have died. But these shaman, or these venom callers, will spawn on the pads, and they will constantly keep exploding the plants around you and spawning them. So definitely keep your eye out for those guys and kill them as fast as you can. They are pretty weak, so you can just put a soul trap on them and heavy attack them. Usually they'll die. Again, make sure you keep an eye out for the venom callers. And if you do find plants like in the way, you can always just sprint through them, but you are running the risk of getting hit. So that's on the decision that you're gonna have to make. Again, trolls are pretty easy. Don't get hit by the boulder. You can dodge pretty early. It's pretty forgiving. Again, we got another totem venom coming. Make sure keep an eye on the plants and then kill them. Well, the plants do sometimes randomly explode, so just be wary of that. Again, target down the archers. See if we can get one to channel the execute. For this boss, I would just corrosive armor because he does an AoE like ground stomp. See if he'll do it. No, that wasn't it. That can one shot because you can get hit. Here it is. There, that does a lot of damage. Want to make sure that you don't get hit by multiples because it will one shot you. Always focus down the archers because they're gonna be the ones that are killing you. Oh, I might be dead. Yep, see, kills you super quick. Always keep an eye out for those venom callers. Clear out these plants. Oh, I got hit. Roll dodge into the pool. Once you do use the pool, it will be gone for this round. So that's another thing to note. Get hit by the trap, huh? This round, it will summon 3 archers. So this would be a good round for the sigil. So if you don't know this channel, it's an execute. You can interrupt it. It will one-shot you. So always be aware with these archers. But yeah, this would be one of the rounds where I would suggest taking the shield sigil if you do take an increased amount of damage, because that will save you and it will reflect damage back. 2 trolls again. Just don't get hit by the boulder because it does like 10,000 damage and CCs, which is not what we want. Keep applying your dots. The trolls do transform; they don't take damage, but once they get out, they're pretty easy to burst down. I think crit. That was unfortunate. I didn't crit either. Alright, final round. You'll be fighting a big lizard. He shoots poison at you if you're far away. Careful, do not stand in that poison because it will apply the same dot to you that the plants do, and it will kill you very quickly. He also will stun you and hit you with that. He will bite you, bleed attack. You can just break free and you will dodge it. So this part, unfortunately we got hit by a totem caller. Oh, I might be dead. Maybe that was close. But when the mages spawn, you want to kill one of the mages. We might be dead. So kill one of the mages, and then he'll start howling. So you will stand in this protected bubble. Oh no. Well, unfortunately we had a dot on the mage, and I died. And yeah, that scream will one-shot you. So, again, I messed up. But the mages will spawn, and then you want to kill one, and then leave another one alive. They'll bring up the bubble, then you can wait out his howl. If you're not close to them, he will always start out with that attack. I don't know if you noticed, but when he does that ground stomp, those fissures do hit really hard, so I would just advise you to block it. Don't try to roll dodge, because the immunity frames are weird, and if you do get hit by it, you will take a lot of damage. Again, he's howling. And then you can get this mob to like be right next to him, so you can still like put your dots and damages on him while he's still howling, which is advised. Got another venom collar. Go kill them. Ignore the boss. Just keep moving. Don't stand still. Block that. Put your dots on him. Block that. Oh, we didn't block it. Should be spawning, oh, there comes the mages. The storm mages. Kill one. Well then also, you can tell the venom collars are in the arena as well. The one that explode the plants based on, like, it does turn a hint of green. I don't know if you noticed. And then there we go. Arena down. You could also just corrosive armor and then tank through the mages. Like, if you're going for time, you don't have to. You do enough DPS, you can just corrosive armor that last part and then just kill him. He won't start screaming as well if like both mages are alive. That is another thing to note. So if you can tank the DPS that they put out, you can just sit there and smack them. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. So if you're a vampire, which I don't know why you'd be, but this is probably going to be the hardest arena for you. Do the fire. All the fire damage. So the Dremor that I just killed with the two-handed sword, they do use two-handed sword abilities. So just be wary of the dizzying swing. Block that, and I would say stick close to them because they will Furious charge you. And since we're not running a lot of crit resist, it will hit pretty hard. And then the other mob that I killed there, this Pyromancer right here, the body just disappeared. I guess I'll talk about him later once we fight him again. Again, block that. The lava outside will also shoot fire at you, so make sure you keep moving. All right, so at this point we can't damage the lurcher, but you're gonna want to block that, otherwise it'll knock you down. So to get rid of his little blue armor, you're gonna want to kill these warding stones, and then they'll get stunned, and then you can damage them. Again, block that attack because it will knock you down. And TC is not our friend. Another thing to note, you can put Soul Trap on the warding stones, and you will get resources back. Again, keep dealing damage, you'll keep healing. Those beetles are pretty. So this is another mob that you want to be careful. See, when he does that, he'll constantly shoot fireballs at him. You want to interrupt him because he will do crazy DPS. That was one of the main mobs that you gotta watch out for. Also, the healers, they heal themselves or other people. You can interrupt their heal and then just heavy attack them afterwards. And we got another lurcher. Dodges attacks. Block that. Gonna burst him down. God, I hate lurchers. Fucking hate them. You're like, look at that damage, and it's a stun. Like, what is that? We're just gonna pop a pot here, get some stamina and magicka back. We're running a little low. We're doing pretty poorly on the sustain front. Again, you want to stay close to the two-hander. Just block the dizzying swing. Off balance, heavy attack them. Get that stand back. Block the dizzying swing. You do cleaves as well. You just want to stay close to them because again, they will critical charge you and it will hit very, very hard. God, I hate lurchers. Oh, well, this was a flame astronaut. Okay, so this round, if again you're running, you don't do enough damage, I would advise you picking up the that sigil there, because it spawns 2 of these the flame guys, and that extra damage resist will definitely make it a lot easier. Insult trap onto the enemies, get our bunch of stamina back. Again, block the dizzying swings. Okay, so this boss, will summon a Dragon Knight lady. Make sure whenever she pulls you, you're gonna want to dodge that, because she will put her flame dots on you, and they will hit really hard. Again, you gotta kill the sigils or the warding stones. Do not fight her in her DK alt. Oh my god. See, yeah, just go one shot. Unfortunately, I dodged too early there. I should have just corrosive armored, but I wanted to be greedy. Yeah, and focus down the pyromancers here. Make sure you interrupt that attack. Unfortunately, that one healed from the healers. But we got dots on them, so we'll still be out healing their damage. Oh, dizzying swing. Unfortunate. Alright. Just to roll that. Don't get hit by the... Careful when she hits you with that engulfing flame. You know, we're not going to make the same mistake twice. We're just going to corrosive armor. She does. We want to get her out of the alt, because she does get really tanky in there. Yeah. Definitely, I would just advise you to corrosive armor her, because when she hits you with that engulfing flame and pulls you in the standard of might, you will get one shot. Alright, so this final boss, you have to kill 3 warding stones, but he does walk really slow, so you have plenty of time. Just be careful when you're near the edge. He does do a cleave attack, which can knock you into the lava. And also, he will occasionally it'll spawn one of these guys. You're gonna want to kill them first, because they will do that channeled ability that hits really hard. Also, once you're down to 1 warding stone, he gets really fast. But once you get all 3 down, burst them down, hit them with, apply all your dots to them. Unfortunately, my weapon damage buff ran out. Unfortunate. Then rinse and repeat. I usually ignore the astronauts, because we're constantly doing damage to these warding stones. Constantly healing. Again, watch out for the this guy. Put all your dots on him. See right there, that was the cleave. That would have knocked me in the lava if I didn't roll dodge block it. He also does that a breath attack there, so I'm charging up. You can roll dodge that. It's pretty generous. On average, it'll usually take you 3 times to or 3 times of killing these warding stones to finish them off. Again, watch out for this guy, he spawns. And we're just going to corrosive armor, get resources back. He's taken care of. Alright, moving on to the last warding stone. So our buffs are still up. Alright, and he is donezo. Alright, now we're moving on to the last arena. This is the longest one. It's got more rounds. So this arena, you see the ghosts floating around. Don't get hit by them because they do massive damage. Always keep an eye out for those archers when they channel that, because again, that is an execute. As you just saw, I picked up a gold ghost. You want to pick those up because once you get 3, it's a similar mechanic as the spider arena, where you can stun all the enemies within the arena, which is super nice. But the gold ghosts, they do try to go to a mob first, so you can usually get in front of them. So this is probably one of the main monsters you want to worry about. The Daedroth. You saw that flame attack. It does hit really, really hard, but as you saw, I kind of strafed around him in circles and just flurry struck him to death. The tracking on his attack is pretty poor, so that is one way to survive that initial flame burst as opposed to running away and healing. So I advise just strafe around him, then just keep flurrying striking him, because again, this is a pretty good spammable, which gets buffed by your deadly strike set. Then we have the Daedroth. We really don't care about the ghost at this point. Strafe around him. See, as you can see, oh man, that one was killed. As you can see, the ghost went into the Dremora, gives him the mob gives him a little more protections, harder to kill. I should be soul trapping more, because as you can see, I'm a little low on stam. Again, once you get 3, you can see the synergy on my bar. You can use Spectral Expansion. We'll use it here real quick. You don't get it forever. It only lasts for 9 seconds, as you can see on my ability bar. But we'll just use it. Blows everything away, stuns everything, and we can just burst down the Daedroth here. Again, ghosts, whenever they come up, go and grab them. Oh, person almost shot it. That would have been an execute. Probably would have died. Don't get hit by that AoE, because it will knock you down. Again, CC, we hate it. I'm just going to use Spectral Expansion again, because that was the boss for this round. Focus the Daedroth. Strafe around him. Oh, I got stunned, unfortunately. See, does a crap load of damage. We're going to pot there. So, the part about this round, it'll spawn these guys on the outside. They'll walk towards the center and they'll start summoning something, or this big skeleton mage. They will always spawn on the outside. And if you do have your beast trap on, see right there, you know it's gonna spawn, because again it's on the outside. They will get rooted by the beast trap, so that is a good nice little mechanic there. But yeah, you're gonna want to burst him down, because if not, it'll summon a big skeleton lord. You know what? We might actually we'll let him summon the skeleton lord just to see the mechanic. As you can see, they start and this one's a little bit harder to kill because I got the gold ghost buff. But you'll know you're on the last stage when 2 of them spawn. We still only have 1 left, or we still have 1, so we got 1 more wave probably. Alright, so we have 2. 2 spawning on the outside and an ogre, or an ogre. So we'll just kill this guy. Careful about the ogre. He does have a knockback attack, so just don't get knocked into lava. You'll be fine. See, now they're summoning. I'm just gonna grab that. We'll let them summon the skeleton, then we'll just spectral. See, he will spawn. Well, we're just gonna spectral expansion him. Or sorry, a bone colossus. He will summon skeletons as well. And he will like shoot fireballs up in the air, which will do AoE when they land, so it'll take a bunch of area out of the arena. Round 5. This is not the last round. We still got 1 more. Again, focus the Daedra off. Unfortunate there was a ghost, so like I took a bunch of damage and I got hit by a bunch of molten breath. So. And just watch out for the ghosts, because as you saw, they do a bunch of damage. So the NCC is your enemy. Strafe around them, not taking any flame damage, easy peasy. Alright, so the Ash Titan. Just block that, get your dots down. Again, block that, don't get hit by the ghost. He will knock you back, and now he will start flinging fire at you. We'll stun you if you get hit by it. And we're just going to corrosive armor here, because I don't want to die. Bunch of CC from these enemies, which we do not like. And you can time out to where you do have the spectral expansion for the Ash Titan, so you can just pop that and you should be able to kill him down or burst him down in time before all the other mobs show up. Again, that was an oversight on my end. But yeah. So, alright, now we're on the final round.
This is how it's done.
This is the final boss. You'll see him charging up. You're going to want to dodge that because it'll hit you pretty hard and it will knock you back. You also can interrupt him while he channels. Definitely do that because otherwise you will get smacked. Yeah, and once you do enough damage, you're going to want to kill. Definitely kill that guy though. You'll see these little electric-y, Daedric like symbols on the ground. You have to go up on a platform to go get them, or to make them come back down. So, the way to get these to work, you got to kill the electrical dinosaur guy on them. Portal up. So he will do a couple attacks of where or you're gonna have to kill these crystals, and he'll do those skulls. But when he's charging up like that, oh, I suck. You definitely want to. You're gonna have to stand behind that. Oh, I'm lucky dead. Stand behind that so he doesn't knock you off the edge like he did to me. Alright, so we're back up here. Burst down the crystals. You can dodge pretty early on that skull throw. As you can see, I dodged really, really early. The game's very generous. See if I can make it to the opposite over there. That is a load of crap. I'm doing a pretty poor job of demonstrating the final fight. Usually it goes a little smoother. Again, apologies, but if you don't get knocked off, like I did, actually we'll just kind of stay up here a couple times, or a little bit longer. Again, dodge the skulls because they will knock you off. And you do take damage up here from a swirling storm. So starting off, this rock thing here is very, very slow. Also, do not get hit by those fireballs because they will knock you down. Again, dodge. As you're up here more, you will start taking more damage from the ticks. Ooh, that was close. And as you notice, the rocks here, they got a little bit faster. So at this point, you should be 2 crystals down. And should be focusing the last one. And put everything on it. You dodge. As you can tell, I'm taking 2,000 damage a tick, which is pretty significant. I'm gonna potion here. So as you can see, it's like super, super fast. But if that is ever the case, you want to run in the opposite direction and then wait for it to explode. But alright, so we got him down, kill all 3 crystals. He's down here, interrupt him. That was a little bit risky. Again, make sure you're dodging those attacks so they will knock you down. So again, you can see they're channeling the big skeleton monster again, but depending on your DPS, you can just ignore them, and usually you can kill them before it actually comes. If you get 3 ghosts, boom, spectral expansion, then he should be easy enough to burst down. Stuns everything, easy peasy. Then again, you can just corrosive armor too, as well. Corrosive armor is your saving grace. Always make sure you keep your ultimate. Ooh, get the Maelstrom perfected bow, which is definitely a good pickup. But yeah, that is Veteran Maelstrom. I pretty much kind of botched that last fight, but took a little longer. Usually it should take about an hour if you're like not running trial gear and stuff. But if you're a speedrunner, I mean, most watch other YouTube videos out there, they can do it within like a half an hour. So, but usually take you about an hour. Then there's also a daily quest you can accept here, but I just didn't want to listen to the guy's dialogue, which you'll get like 700 gold in the end. But yeah, that was VMA. Died a little bit longer than I would like, or not longer, a couple more times than I would have liked, but again, this is a set I'm running. Deadly Strike, perfected Maelstrom Flurry, and Thunderous Volley. You don't have to run Deadly Strike, but just make sure, like, Ring of the Pale Order is a must, otherwise it gets exponentially harder, because you're just spamming heals, and the amount of healing you get from Ring of the Pale Order, super, super nice. So, keep dealing damage, keep healing. And I don't think I forgot to mention this, but on my jewelry, I do run weapon damage and chance, so that is another thing. And, I mean, you could use Bloodthirsty as well on the jewelry, but it's not the biggest thing if you don't have transmute crystals to do so. And again, Your second set really doesn't matter if you're running Maelstrom weapons, as we're only getting the 4-piece bonus out of it. So yeah, that is my guide. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.